Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're enjoying your day so far, and it seems we are at something of a breaking point right now regarding the Call of Duty community. Pros going at each other's necks, pros threatening to break gentlemen's agreements. What is the potential solution to this going forwards? Because it's chaos on the timeline every single day, and hopefully some sort of announcement with the CDL coming relatively soon, as Clayster has been talking about how we are going to resolve this entire situation. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'd like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Let's get into things then. So yesterday, Florida Mutineers confirmed one more Mutineer for 2021, that being Neptune. We've talked about this young up-and-coming Halo pro turned Call of Duty. Definitely someone to watch out for going forward, and Mutineers decide to get him on board as a substitute player in a similar way to where they brought OpTic or former OpTic at the time, now part of OpTic once again, or at least part of that family. They brought him in as a substitute player from, of course, the Halo scene in the past, and well, he was realistically never going to play, but Neptune may well be that guy for them going forwards this season. Also, to talk about the Challengers Cups, which have gone down the last couple of days, I thought this was kind of crazy. Renegades dominated the APAC scene for the last year until yesterday, so they won 17 tournaments in a row, 272 days without losing a tournament, but yesterday in the APAC Cup, they ended up falling just short. I believe Chiefs took the victory in this one for the first time in a very long time. Anyone has, defeated that Renegade squad down in that region, and also in the European region. We'll talk about the North American region a little bit later today, because that kind of went as planned from a lot of people's perspective, but Obtained GG won the European Challengers Cup, H-Pain, Hixie, Callum, and BB Connor. So very impressive performances from these guys as well. Let's get into things then. So we looked at what Doug Leap had to say a few weeks ago about some potential solutions to GAs, but he isn't very confident in what he had to say at the time, because as he says here, after posting this, I'm far less confident GAs will get better anytime soon. In reality, 6 pros drive most discussion votes for GAs. Since all pros, amps, and the community validate these decisions, why would these few pros ever give up their power? I wouldn't if I were them. So this kind of setting the groundwork for what we're going to see here in the coming minutes. So as Awakening says yesterday, well, as he was streaming, half of these pros are faded. So he does a clip on stream that you'll see in a second. So Cronus City Lintel says, looks like pros are currently testing no barrel attachments, subs only at the moment. So Florida was scrimming Dallas. Florida haven't been having the best time in scrims these last couple of weeks. We'll definitely have to look at some power ranking, because now teams are looking in the coming days, hopefully when the CDL actually announce some sort of schedule for the upcoming season. But I believe Dallas were having the better of them in this one, but they were trying out no barrel attachment on the AK-74U at the time, and I think even a Huke was using a Bullfrog. I think some of the other guys on Dallas were using a Milano, and the question was there, what is going on? Is the AK-74U getting GA'd? Why are we not even allowed to use this extended barrel? All it does is increase bullet velocity by something like 40%. Doesn't seem particularly outrageous, and well, certainly there were some questions going on. What is going on in this scrim set? Why is the 74U not being used all over the park as it typically is in scrims? And well, is something else going on once again? So as Awakening comes out and says on stream, he's like, look, all the AR players, these slow ARs, they want to ban the 74U, but because people said effectively no to that, then we're actually getting rid of some of the attachments on them to kind of like some sort of compromise is the argument here. But Slasher clearly doesn't see it like this, as he says, this is the problem right here. We have incompetent morons spewing BS on stream/Twitter, consistently throwing blame on people who are not even bringing this stuff up. So I'll share the clip.
To the Ravens one now. Watch these slow old and main ARs want to. First of all, they want to GA the 74U, and so right now, instead of GAing the 74U, they're trying to GA the barrels on the 74U.
But this, wait, are you guys streaming everyone?
So of course, Awakening in that clip kind of hinting that it was the AR players that wanted the 74U gone, for example. But as Slasher says then, I guess Zuma is a slow old made assault rifle, of course, which he is not. One of the most cracked players in the entire league, at least in terms of their aggressive playstyle that we've seen over several years. So this is the rep chat, of course, players only. This is where they decide the GAs. You can see Methods, Accuracy, Clayster, Crimsix, Simp, and Envoy right here, and Loony also on screen. So as Clayster says, Tommy has relayed to me, I want the 74U gone, so let's get that thing out. Crimsix says the meta is fine. Tommy wants it gone. See ya, says Loony over at the Seattle Surge. Why are we allowing the 74U? Tommy wants a Bullfrog meta 100%. So Tommy Zuma Paparazzo did talk a while ago. He actually quite likes the Bullfrog, which is kind of that 50 rounds weapon, kind of the PDW type thing from previous games. Looks like the Bison effectively in this title. And as Clay says, Porter just wants it because he has Zio, right? ILLey, Huke, and Shotzzy. They're obviously going to be pretty good with the 74U in hand at the present time. So Slasher is bringing the receipts to show that like, it wasn't him that actually instigated this potential gentleman's agreement, as Clay says, exposing, and he says, look, I'm tired of this trash being thrown on me and people acting like they have no say or do not know what's going on. People cannot keep their mouths shut for 2 hours. I'm coming with receipts from now on. So we're kind of calling out some of the other players that are going on right now. And well, then we get this from Prestinni. So replying to this tweet, a lot of pros I think are very frustrated with this, right? They're watching these scrim sets, they're thinking, what is going on? Why are all these things getting GA'd all the time? Like, I get that you're trying to make the most balanced meta possible, but I turn up for scrims every single day, and Octane said it a few days ago with the XM4, for example. There was new barrels getting GA'd every single day. He has no idea what's going on. He's turning up to scrims, having to get rid of new barrels on his weapons and trying new things out. Very frustrating to deal with as a player when you kind of just want to get on and improve every single day, day in, day out. And as Prestinni says, also on that Seattle Surge squad, I am about to go rogue. I get on every day shooting a new sub every week, right? So the question is, okay, is the 74U still allowed? Okay, if it is still allowed, which it seems like it is, we'll look at that in a second, then, well, why are we not using these certain attachments on it now? And it's all chaos, right? And it seems to, as I said at the start of the video, be reaching something of a breaking point where some players are going at each other's throats, and then you've got guys like Prestinni said, I'm about to just go rogue and break these GAs, I don't care anymore. It's just getting too chaotic to keep up with. But as JCap says on kind of Slash's side, if so many pro players say publicly they're against GAs, we've seen it these last several days attach. I mean, Huke, you've got Dashy, you've got Octane, you've got Prestinni, as we just got looked at, a number of the players on the Eavesdrop podcast hinting at a similar thing as well. Zoomer, as we talked about yesterday, how do they end up going through all the time, right? And as Slash says, wow, this is well, some deep thinking right here. And as Camp says in reply, you have to be over 24 years old and a main assault rifle to have a vote. Everyone knows that, of course, pretty tongue-in-cheek, and Simp replies with this one as well. So definitely pretty interesting how, yeah, we do get a lot of players complaining about this stuff, but at the end of the day, these GAs still go through, right? So maybe arguing that instead of going rogue, maybe, you know, put a more of a fight, or at least have some more discussion about this with the players that are making these decisions. But at the end of the day, majority rules, and well, if you're not in the majority, unlucky, you kind of just have to go with it, or you're getting blacklisted from scrims. So as Zoomer says in reply to Slash's tweet from earlier, guys, I was trolling, but Slasher once again doesn't agree. I don't know. You also claimed not to know what was going on with Gung Ho in the podcast. We looked at that clip yesterday. He was like, I don't really know what's going on. I think Gung Ho Clacer said to me that it was getting banned or getting GA'd, but yeah, I hadn't really heard about that. But Azuma says, look, did you even watch the podcast? I said, I don't care what happens if pros think it'll make the game more competitive. I'm all for it. I just didn't expect pros to want Gung Ho gone. It threw me off. I also said how you and Lamar aren't just running the show, that it is a majority vote. As Slasher says, look, I watched it, I did appreciate that, but look, every team discusses it, and Clay says he talked to you guys about the Gung Ho stuff. And Azuma says, look, there was definitely a miscommunication here in the New York camp about Gung Ho. I apologize to the Slasher World League and everyone involved. It will not happen again. And well, then we get this thread. Of course, we looked at Dougley, what he had to say earlier, and just some pure entertaining stuff on the timeline. He says, look, this is not the problem. His point in the clip is moronic, but which players get credit or blame for GAs has literally nothing to do with the GA's usefulness. You proving who said what it is pointless. Would banning the 74U be better if a different player brought it up? No point at all. So kind of looking at that thread and saying, okay, well, Tommy Zuma brought up the 74U GA, which I don't really think was the case at all, right? Because as Slasher says, a pro player is spewing nonsense on stream, and you and others just believe the 74U might be getting banned and throw blame on people for no reason. It is not getting banned, and the same narrative gets spread blaming certain people who have nothing to do with it. GAs are a league decision. 80+% of the players agree with it. This BS story and players acting like they aren't voting or have no say, gotta stop. So it goes back and forth again here. Slasher starts throwing in some capital letters. Doug comes out with you're just caps locking every third word like you have some sort of moral superiority over me. Bro, what? I'm not acting like I have moral superiority over you. I mean, yeah, just pure entertainment. Obviously, I'll leave this up to your guys' interpretation in the comment section below. But yeah, it just never ends, guys. And just to finish off the video with this, later today we will talk about the West victory in the North American Challengers Cup in a little bit more detail. But yesterday in the Challengers Cup, as Saints Nato says, sick play to close out a defense and control. 2 versus 5 versus Wester. Did this on 100 ping, by the way. So yeah, nice little clip to finish out the video. But intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, this is absolute chaos right now. Nobody knows what's going on. Who's going to break GAs, if that's even going to be the case? And well, what Claystar has been talking about these last few days about potentially something getting added into the game that these pros have been working on behind the scenes. What could that potentially be? Hopefully some sort of announcements in the coming days when maybe the CDL actually decide to tell us what is going on with this league. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.